Joe with Affinity Games here. I just wanted to discuss a video about how we determine the buy price of a Magic the Gathering or a Pokemon card. So one of the big things before you buy a card, you must know what you can sell a card for. We're going to discuss how to properly buy a card or collection and then delve into the secrets, how to make profit from this business. The main goal of buying cards is the store's purpose is to make a profit. Ideally around 20 to 25% margin, and then without profit, the store can't sustain itself or provide useful spaces for players. And this is the value-added service that stores everywhere in the world encounter. And this is just a good example of what we're trying to do here at Affinity Games. So we're going to delve into costs that affect buying price, right? So Joe, what is my card worth? Why is it not worth that much? Why is my collection devalued? Well, there's a couple things that kind of come into that to reach that profit margin. So several expenses. So the first expense is no matter what platform you sell on, whether it's Alibaba, Lazada, Shopee, Amazon, eBay, TCG Player, Card Market, Binder POS, which is owned by TCG Player, which some stores using. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff right now. Shopify, if you do it your own, any of that type of stuff, you're going to incur a marketplace fee. Now that averages about 13%, and these fees must be taken off the top of every collection you buy, and then must be factored in every buy price. Now that's not to say that you can't sell locally on your Facebook page or Facebook groups, but for the majority of things that you end up doing, you're going to assume a 13% hit in your fees. So shipping costs. Shipping costs are the next one. Now this is just a good example overall, is that let's say you have a $5 to $25 order. You send it either by LBC Express, FedEx, DHL, UPS, USPS if you're in the state with a plain white envelope, you're going to average about 5%. So you're not going to make that full 7% on that one. But if you go up in value for your orders, that orders require tracking and extra service and all this stuff, insurance, then you're looking more at like 8 to 6.5%. So 7% seems to be like a really good average shipping cost overall. No matter where you're at in the world, it just seems what it is. You're going to always encounter a shipping cost issue. The next one that you're going to encounter is you have employees. Employees do not work for free as much as everybody wishes. You do not work for free if you're a one-person business. So, you know, one of the things that you have to think about is that packing and shipping, and not only the reverse of that, which we specialize in, is buying. So it requires somebody's not doing that job for free. I've heard stories, but you're just deluding yourself. Get back in the workforce, do something else if you're not making enough money. So on average, your labor costs are about 6% of a card's value. Larger card values reduce the percentage impact, and overall smaller orders increase. An example, any cards less than $3 at TCG low, you're gonna, with labor and everything else we talked about, you're gonna probably pay 50% just to sell that tiny little card. So if you have a collection that's majority of cards less than $3, yeah, it's not gonna be worth that much. The next thing that happens is whether you ship items, since it's your primary business, or you just have normal loss prevention. I think the industry standard is like 1.5% for like a SM, a Robinsons, a Walmart, a Target, whatever. They're looking at about 1.5% loss in inventory. And that could be either doing stolen, it could be damaged, it could be never arrives to the buyer at the end of the day. There's just a lot of things that end up factoring in on this. So you're going to assume a 1% loss in any item that you sell. The next thing that you're going to have is we're going to have a breakdown. So totaling these things up, so we got a 1% loss there. We have our employee cost. We have our shipping cost. And we have our platform fees. So right there, you're already looking at 27%. But we have this secret other category. We have overhead. So overhead in times of setting up your store, your operations, whether you're doing it out of your house, whether you're doing it in a brick and mortar store, wherever you're doing, you're going to have order. I factor in about 3% on this because if you aggregate all your sales over a 30-day period, divide that by utilities, rent, and water, and everything, that you're going to kind of look at a 3% markup on that. So you're looking at about 30% get eaten up in overhead, shipping, platform fees, employees, and loss. Now, if you don't have any employees, you're like, oh, but Joe, I don't have any employees. Yeah, okay, then you should pay yourself 6% for whatever order that you end up having it. So that's kind of one of the big issues with that. So let's clear this all off here. All right, so that leaves you with about 27 to 30% total in your own operating overhead. And this is case by case. Globally, it's differently. Europe's going to have different things. America's going to have different things. And Southeast Asia will have different parts. So as a real example on that, let's say you have a $100 card. Okay, so a $100 card. Let's say that it's in near mint to like played range, and the store wants to make a 25% profit on that. So the store wants to keep $25 for every $100 that they sell. Its cost to sell the card is roughly $27 to $30, so that they can only afford to pay $48 on that card. That's 48% of 100. Now, that's not always a great example. If it's one card of $100, you're going to see closer to 65 to 70% of its value, depending on time, condition, age, if it's reserve list or anything else like that. But that's the near mint value. And as it goes down and degrades into that, less players are looking for moderately played. Let's say people that play a lot of events, they want to buy moderately played cards because they're just going to play it and then get rid of it. But people that like to collect, they're going to be more in this. So you have breakdown of categories. So like when you look at like a buy offer and a summary offer, so you're going to look at like, say, at lowest, you're looking at 40%, at highest, you're looking at 70%. Higher dollar cards will get a better rate, like $1,000 card will get 65%, 75%, or even 80% of its value, while lower value items like a $1 card will be normally like less than 40%. It's just the way it is. So why this is important? This is important because we need to know where every dollar goes in our business, right? And then offer a fair price while staying profitable. It helps maintain that we can offer on any card and collections, so that if you do send in a bunch of mod play cards, Affinity Games buys it. Same with that. We're able to buy that. We're also able to scale the buy prices depending on the card value. So if you send higher and better quality collections, then we're able to do that. And then lastly, we're able to stay sustainable, and that we're able to stay in business. That's why, like, knock on wood, no superstition, we've been in business since 2006 in the US and since 2015 in the Philippines. So we have a global spanning business. So it's worked out pretty good. And lastly, I love this one. We're going to get in some math on this. Time. Time is the biggest value. So what is the time value of money, right? So we have a future value of money, the present value of money, times its interest rate, times the amount of years that it is. Then why does this matter, right? So if I invest today $100 that I can earn an interest and grow right now, I can go into, there's so many apps that can do this, I can put it in. If I have inflation, it reduces our purchasing power. Like globally, let's say we try to stay at 2% inflation rate. So $100 today buys more than $100 in the future. And then lastly, there's always a risk in waiting. So you might not be able to get the money later. So when we offer you collections, we normally do a 7-day lock-in period. And it's like, why did you choose 7 days? Well, it's just 1 week. So it's a very easy way to track and go over that. So one of the big things is that you lock in your value now. You get paid now, you ship now, you use Rush, you use FedEx, you get the cards to Affinity Games no matter where we're at in the world. We're going to take care of you and make sure you get paid ASAP. We're there to help you. That's what we provide. To wrap that up, it's just one of the easiest ways to do with Affinity Games is make sure that you always are valuing your time, because your time is something that you cannot replenish. We never know how much time we get, so we always want to make sure that we value your time. Well, I hope that video was really enlightening and that it provided a lot of useful details for running your business. Let me know down in the comments section if you enjoyed the video. Give me a like, subscribe, comment down below, ask me any questions, and together we can help build a great collectible business.